All right, let's dive into one of the absolute workhorses of Python, a tool that is fundamental to programming, the for loop. We're going to break down exactly how it works and show you how it can become your personal robot for any repetitive task you can dream of.
You know that feeling, right? That copy, paste, check. Copy, paste, check. Mind-numbing repetition. It's tedious, and honestly, it's exactly the kind of boring work that computers were built to do for us. So, what if I told you that you can build your own tiny, super efficient software robot to handle all that grunt work? Well, you can. In Python, that robot is the for loop. It's way simpler than it sounds, and you're about to see just how powerful it really is.
Okay, so where do we even begin? Well, the most natural place to start with a for loop is by giving it a list of things and telling it to just go through them, one by one. And the beautiful thing here is just how readable this is. First, we've got our list, vehicles. Easy enough. Then the for loop, which you can almost read like a sentence. For every vehicle inside the vehicles list, do something. And that something is whatever we put inside the loop. In this case, just printing a sentence with the current item.
And this is exactly how it plays out, step by step. There's no magic here. The loop is just methodical. It starts at the top, grabs car, and runs our print command. Done. Then it moves to the next one, bike, and runs the exact same command again. Finally, it gets to bus, does its job one last time, sees there's nothing left, and stops. That, right there, is automation in a nutshell.
Now you might be thinking, okay, great for cars, but so what? Well, this is the key takeaway. Imagine that list isn't 3 vehicles, but thousands of user accounts, and you need to send an email to each one. Or maybe it's a folder full of files you need to process. This simple pattern is the foundation for all of that.
Looping through lists is awesome. But what if you just need to do something a specific number of times? Say, exactly 100 times. You don't want to have to create a list with 100 items just for that. This is where we need more precise control. And for that, we use a super handy function called range.
Think of range as a number dispenser for your loop. You don't give it a list, you just give it rules, like start here and stop here, and it feeds the numbers to your for loop one at a time, right when it needs them.
So you've got 2 main flavors of range. The basic version just counts from a start number up to an end number. But the advanced version, well, it adds a third ingredient, a step, which lets you get fancy and skip numbers. You can count by 2s, by 10s, whatever you need.
Let's really pick this advanced version apart. Range 2, 22, 4 is giving Python 3 very clear instructions. 1. Start counting at the number 2. 2. Stop counting before you get to the number 22. And 3. After each number, add 4 to get the next one. This is so useful when you need to, say, process every 4th item in a huge file without looking at the others.
Okay, talk is cheap. Let's actually watch this thing run and see what numbers it spits out.
First up, it starts exactly where we told it to, at 2.
Then it adds our step of 4, landing on 6.
Does it again. 6 plus 4 is, of course, 10.
You can see the pattern here. Another 4 gets us to 14.
And one last time, we get 18. Now, here's the important part. If it added 4 again, we'd hit 22. But remember our rule. We said stop before 22. So the loop knows its work is done, and it just stops. That's precise control. All right, so we can loop through lists, and we can generate our own number sequences. Let's put it all together and solve a classic, really practical problem, calculating a running total.
The recipe for this is almost always the same. First, you need an empty basket to hold your total. That's our sum value variable, which we start at 0. Then, we set up our for loop to generate all the numbers from 1 to 50. And inside the loop, for every number it generates, we just add it to our basket. That plus equals is just a slick programmer shortcut for saying sum value equals the old sum value plus the new num.
And seriously, once you see this pattern, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Think about an online shopping cart. Every time you add an item, a loop like this is running in the background, updating the total. It's the same logic for adding up sales figures, counting votes, you name it. So, the big question. After our little loop has chugged along 50 times, diligently adding every single number to our sum value, what's the grand total?
And the answer is 1,275. Boom! Imagine doing that by hand. Our little code robot just did it in, what, a millisecond? That is the power of automation.
So let's do a super quick recap.
At its heart, the for loop is your best friend for automating repetitive tasks. You can have it work through any list of items, or you can use the range function to tell it exactly how many times to repeat something. And when you combine a loop with a variable, you can perform powerful calculations, like keeping a running total.
And that brings us to the most exciting part. You now have this fundamental building block, this tool to make the computer do the boring stuff for you. So I'll leave you with this question. What's the first tedious, repetitive problem that you are going to solve with it?